All right, so you guys have a couple of blocks, a bolster. The practice is Yin and Restorative Yoga, so a little combination of both. Yin is holding poses for a period of time. Restorative is holding poses for a period of time, but with props to support you. So we will have props actually with our Yin practice as well, but with restorative, we want to be as comfortable as possible. With Yin, it might not be quite that, but of course, listening to your body. So we'll start off in a place that feels really, really good to start. So you'll have chosen your back, which is perfect. That's actually where I would recommend you start. So settling in completely, letting your body fully relax. Noticing the breath, the movement of that breath. And today we're going to pay particular attention, and we'll approach this in multiple ways. The gap that you sense and feel between the inhale and the exhale, that little pause where the inhale and exhales meet. Really zero in on that. You find your mind drifting to other places or thoughts moving into your mind. Remind yourself that this is your time to be completely still in both body and mind. The mind is the more challenging part, of course. So just that gentle reminder, this is my time. This is my time to pause. We'll stay here just a few more rounds of breath. We'll continue our practice with some movement for the spine, just to warm up a little bit. So on your next inhale, stretch out, fingertips and toes reaching in opposite direction. So as you stretch out here, see if you can find added space under the lower part of your back. So nice arch through the back. Yes, beautiful. And then bring your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, and maybe drawing your nose up to your knees, but rounding out here as much as you can through the spine. We're going to do that just a few more times. So on your next inhale, stretch out long. And you can stretch out so that the fingertips and toes reach in exact opposite directions, or you could make a little X with the body and take up a little more space. You decide. Bring your knees into your chest again. Knees, nose into knees if you want, or just hug the knees in without the head coming up. We have two more together. Inhaling, stretching long. That extra arch through the back, knees into the chest. Draw the knees in. And one more time, inhaling to stretch long. And exhaling to draw the knees in. Now we'll keep the knees in, give them a good squeeze in, and bring your knees in together and out together at the same time, making circles on the ceiling with your knees, but they are moving in opposite directions. The next time the knees are in, switch directions. Perfect. All right, knees come into center. Next time, send the left leg long and just focus in on this right leg, hugging it in tight. And feel free to draw some circles with the toes if you'd like. Point and flex the foot. Keep your right hand on your right shin. Guide your right knee out to the right side. Left arm goes out to the side for support. And gently bring the right knee across the body for a twist. Perfect. Bring the right knee back to center. Right leg goes long, left knee hugs in. In fact, as it hugs in, give it a good squeeze in as tight as you can, and then draw circles if you'd like with the ankle. Left hand stays to the left shin, right arm goes out to the side. Guide your left knee out to the left side. And a gentle twist, knee across the body. Knee comes to center, send your left leg long, send your arms up overhead. So again, a long stretch here. We'll do a little side movement, a little lateral bend of the spine. So if you'll cross your elbows or just above your head, you can cradle your elbows together, your arms together, and then walk your arms and your legs over to the right side. So you're making a banana shape with your body, parenthesis shape. And so while this is for the spine, it can also be for the hip. And if to do a little extra there, cross the left ankle over your right. All right, we'll walk our arms and our legs over to the left. Pausing here. If you'd like to add the ankle, the right ankle over the left, feel free to do that. Perfect, and then come back to center. All right, knees hugged in one more time, rock and roll up to seated. We are going to start off, so come on up. There's no fancy way we're gonna move into these shapes. We're just gonna go for them. So grab a block and move to a wall. So we're gonna do yogi squat, or so Yin has different names for all of these poses. So it's called a squat. We're gonna actually slide, so the feet are wide, and you can go as wide as you'd like here, but we're going to slide the bottom down the wall, and you'll connect in with your block. And if it doesn't feel like that's enough for your hips to open up, remember, we're gonna be here. Yin is holding a shape for a period of time. So you could actually remove the block and go a little deeper if you'd like. This is about opening up through the hips. So whatever you want to do with your arms is fine. Yep, so you can go deeper into this if you'd like. The deal with yin is to find your shape, to hold your shape, just be still. But of course, if you feel like you need a little extra movement or a little movement at any time, feel free to do this. Going to set my timer for 4 minutes. So we'll be in this shape for 4 minutes. Again, feel free if you need to at any time, make a change. You have your eyes closed down. Just feel the connection of your feet to the ground. Feel the connection of your back against the wall and the opening of the hips. Many times during class today, we are pausing. We pause here and we feel and we breathe. Soften the shoulders, soften the neck. We have about 1 more minute here. And while there is likely some effort in this pose, try to find the ease as well. All right, as slowly as you need to, we are moving out of this. So I don't know if it's a stand up for you, a little stretch out. Feel free to forward bend. Feel free to shake out the legs. Whatever you need to do. We actually spent about 4.5 minutes in that pose. So we are focused on the hips some more, but I'm going to do in between a little shoulder opening. So if you will come back to your mat. And this is called melting heart pose, but you will also know it as puppy pose. So a couple of things to do here. First of all, we are stretching our hands out in front. You're going to, it's actually exactly like the pose says, you're melting your heart space toward your mat. And you can keep the head, you can put the head down if you'd like, you could put the chin down. You could add a block underneath your head to add a little support for it. Where you want to feel this is the opening through the shoulders and through the chest. We have 3 minutes to hold here. So try again to relax here where you can. I know there is some effort with this pose, but find the ease as well. We are about halfway through. Use your breath here. With each exhale, see if there's any opportunity to soften down more. And now slowly come up out of this into a tabletop position and find any movement here that feels good. Maybe it's cat and cow, maybe there's a little lateral movement, maybe it's holding cat. Anything here that feels good. All right, our next yin pose, we'll transition back to some hip opening. You may want your block here. We know this pose more, we know this pose as lizard pose, but they Yin calls it dragon flying low. So we're going to, and actually dragon pose is being a little more upright, but we are going to bring it down. So bring your right foot forward and give yourself space so that you can have your hands to the inside part of that right foot. Your left knee can be down or not. Making it a little more active would be bringing that knee up. But know that we'll be here for about 4 minutes on this side. So once again, hands are to the inside part of the foot. If you'd like to do your dragon flying low, you can come a little high, or come a little lower. You can always stay up a little higher if you prefer. We have 4 minutes. No, there are always opportunities with this dragon pose or lizard pose to vary the foot. So you could have the sole of the foot fully connected to the mat, or you could open up through the arch, letting the knee fall out to the side. As long as the joints stay aligned, you're not buckling through the ankle. That's a little extra stretch through the ankle that we don't need. So feel free, again, to do some variations. But once you find that place, that perfect pose, that's where we pause and hold. I know you both know from being regular yogi and yogini that opening up through the hips can be intense. So notice if there's any of that released intensity traveling into other areas of your body, particularly shoulders, face. We're here about 1 more minute. All right, slowly begin to bring yourself out of this. Take it easy. And again, you are welcome to do whatever you'd like to do in between. So maybe there's some down dog in there. Maybe it's rolling through that right hip from either down dog or all fours. Anything at all that you'd like to practice or do in between. And then when you're ready, we'll prepare for the other side. So your left foot will come forward. Take time to set yourself up here. Again, you can have this dragon pose a little higher or flying low, your choice. Let easy breaths flow freely. Connecting in with the pause between the inhale and the exhale. We stay for about 1 more minute. Take one more big deep breath in, softening breath out. And now slowly transition out, finding any movement in between this pose and our next round of poses. All right, we've made it to the restorative part of our practice. So we are going to use our bolster now and actually our block. So if you will create a bit of a structure. So I'm not quite sure if, hopefully this will work. So you can have one side of the block a little more elevated than the other here. And you're going to scoot yourself in sideways so that your hip is right up at the end of that bolster. And all we're going to do is actually lay on our side. Now here's the thing. So this is a really, really gentle twist. If you prefer to twist more, you actually can lift yourself up and lay down onto the bolster, turning to look in the other direction. So it's either the same direction as your knees or the opposite direction. But here's the difference from what we just practiced with yin to our restorative pose. Try to feel as comfortable as you can. If it means that you need to add other props, I can get you another block, maybe blocks under your arms. You can put a bolster, actually maybe a mat between your knees if it would feel better. So feel free to call me over if you feel like you need something else to make sure that you feel really comfortable here. We stay here about 1 more minute. We are slowly going to push ourselves up and make our way to the other side. So take time here again to set yourself up, make sure everything is stable for you to lay down and fully relax onto that bolster. We stay here for 3 minutes. As we hold here for this next minute, notice how the breath needs to maneuver from this twisted position. So follow your breath. Notice where the bolster is maybe restricting the movement of the breath. How can you widen out in other areas? And can you allow yourself to soften fully for this next little bit of time? All right, we'll slowly come out of this pose. And we're going to set ourselves up for just a little bit of an inversion. It actually, I don't know if the structure is going to be solid enough for us to do this with these. These blocks are a little smaller than but so if you make this structure like I have here, and then where those blocks are where your legs will go. So again, just a really gentle inversion that we'll practice here. But you may want to make sure that your blocks, again, are right underneath your legs so you are supported here. And you might want to scoot yourself in a little bit so your knees are bent and you're not stretched out too far. In fact, if it feels good to scooch in just even a little bit more, feel free to do whatever feels really good. I want you to feel supported here in this, again, really gentle inversion. We aren't going to be here real long because I do want to make sure we have time for opening up through the front body. So just staying here for another minute. Letting your feet relax. All right, very gently remove your feet, your legs, and you can actually put your feet to the floor just for a second here. Pausing just a beat. And then when you're ready, you can roll to your side and push up or however you'd like to come to seated. But we are going to create our last little structure. And here's, so one block is going to be a little more upright. The other block will be on its side. And you'll put this bolster so that you kind of create a little ramp here. And then we'll turn ourselves around. Your bottom is going to come in and you'll lay your spine against the bolster all the way up so that the head is supported as well. Now your arms, again, if it doesn't feel like you can fully rest in this, I'm happy to bring you a couple other blocks so you can lay them underneath your forearms. Are you guys good? Your legs can be stretched out in front. You could put the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out to the side. Again, I can bring you blocks for support. This likely would feel, if you choose to do it, a little more effort. I really do want you to find the ease in this. So the spine is supported. Let yourself relax into the bolster. Let the upper body, the chest, the heart space open up. Soften the jaw. Soften the eyes. Follow the breath. Bring attention to the gap, the pause. Bring some easy movement back to your body. We'll make our way to seated. If it's best to just push yourself up, feel free to do that, or any other way that you'd like to get up. All right, let's take one more big deep breath in together. Inhaling, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhaling the hands to the heart. All right, this is from Thich Nhat Hanh. We will be more successful in all our endeavors if we can let go of the habit of running all the time. and take little pauses to relax and recenter ourselves. And we'll also have a lot more joy in living. Thanks for taking time today to pause for yourself with me. Namaste.